Stresses are high, really high. Doesn't matter whether it's the local news and the international news, the individual's experience in this world, we're all in some form of a pressure cooker. Right? Stresses are so high, I almost witnessed a fist fight in the grocery store the other day because the checker rang something up twice on accident. Everything's escalated. Fuses are short, if not completely non-existent. All of my patients are coming in and are talking about the stress levels are so ridiculously high and they're having a hard time just making it through. And most of them are saying they've turned it off. They've turned off the news. They've turned off the people that say, good evening, here's why today sucks. And they've started creating a day that they're finding some beauty within. And so I'd like to share you some of the process that they're going through. You see, the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response that we have in the old reptilian portion of the human mind, it doesn't understand the difference in between a bear is actively charging at me and is about to attack, and lifestyle stress. Life-threatening, lifestyle. Doesn't matter, the brain reads stress. So lifestyle can be trying to navigate our way through traffic, a checker that misrings something on accident, unexpected bill in the mail. Just the expense of living on this planet at this point in time is ridiculous because we're the only species that pays to live here. And somehow we don't have a problem with that. We just keep paying as much as we can and we grumble about it, but it creates a stress because it's unnatural. Now, in the space of a bear attack where we truly are experiencing life-threatening, stressful situation, makes sense for the sympathetic nervous system to be kicked into gear. I need blood to go to the heart and the lungs and the major muscles so we can run or fight, right? And the only thinking in that area is, can I run away? Can I climb the tree? Do I jump off the cliff and hope that I can hit the pond at the bottom of it? Right? But when you've got lifestyle stress, you can't run or fight with that. There's no space that you can actually get clear from those areas other than shifting our perspective. Unless we're looking at activities themselves. You see, the bear is charging at us. The one thing that nobody is going to do, well, I'm not going to say nobody because there's always that one person, but it's very rare for somebody to pull out an easel and paint the sunset as the bear is bearing down upon them. It's the activity. They can actually create a space that allows the mind to be out of stress. Now, in a life-threatening situation, I think everybody's going to agree that's a poor decision. But if you're in a cabin in the woods and you see a bear walk past the door or past the window, okay, I can keep painting. I can keep creating. I can keep having this creative expression, allowing me to articulate my internal experiences into something that I can gift at least to myself, if not to my family, if not to my friends, if not sharing it on the world at large. It's the act of creativity that helps us to be more human. It helps us to disconnect from all the stresses that we're told are so important in our world and gives us an opportunity to remind ourselves that it's story. It's the talking heads on the idiot box saying, here's why today sucks. Right? Good evening. Here's why today sucks. Be afraid of this. Be angry about that. Be concerned because this is coming towards us. And some of those things are good for us to know. But on the general scale, our minds can't handle it. Right? I don't need to know what's happening on the other side of the world for my own daily life. Absolutely compassion and care for the people that are there. And how much can we outreach to those people? Right? The way to make the world more peaceful is to find peace ourselves. And what my patients have discovered, and what I've discovered myself, is a space of creativity gives us the opportunity to rewrite the script. It gives us an opportunity to create something that didn't exist before, and in that motion, in that action of creativity, it takes the mind from the sympathetic fight or flight mode, from the reptilian portion of the mind, and puts it into the parasympathetic mode. That's rest and digest. That's where the body can go look at the blueprint and go, oh, this is broken. Maybe I should try to repair that. It allows us to step away from the stories that we're told and embody the experience that we're wanting to have, as well as giving us a beautiful way to articulate that to the rest of the world. It doesn't have to be painting, doesn't have to be drawing. I mean, those are my two vices when I get to it. Yarn craft works great for my eldest, right? Playing with Legos was something that my son used to do all the time, right? Even cooking, creating, singing, dancing, right? Putting on the music you used to listen to when you were in high school and just jamming out. When you didn't have the worries and the concerns of an adult. When you were able to find a moment of freedom as you're first experiencing what it is to drive a car without mom and dad around. What it was like to go on a first date. What it was like to have dreams and hopes for the future before the news came in and said, here's why today sucks. Let's take our power back. Let's take our humanity back and find ourselves, no, give ourselves permission, not find, give ourselves permission to create something. It doesn't have to be fantastic, doesn't have to be something we're ever going to sell. But giving ourselves permission to step out of the story, to step out of the rat race, out of the bear that's chasing us constantly that says you need to be afraid, and take our power back through the act of creating something that's beautiful and meaningful, at least to us. And in beauty, I don't mean that it looks like some sort of a piece of artwork that would be hanging up in the Metropolitan or the Smithsonian. Something is beautiful because you made it, because it's an expression of what you have in the inside. And if that just means it's stick figures standing out in a field, then that's all that it is. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be making a recipe for chocolate chip cookies without the recipe. Let's just see. Let's try. Let's experiment. Oh, look, they're flat and full of bubbles. Oops, screwed something up. At least we can laugh. At least we can take the seriousness out of all of this life where we're constantly told that we're supposed to be in this engaged system that keeps us stressed, which keeps us from healing, which keeps us reliant upon the system to tell us how stressed we're supposed to be. So let's look for our creativity. Let's look for that expression that is uniquely you that nobody else has. We all have it, right? You don't know what your creative expression is? What did you used to do when you were a kid? Mom and dad said, you're driving me nuts, go away, right? Well, you found your own therapy. You found your own way of expressing something, right? Maybe it was reading. So we've got make-believe. We're listening to somebody else's stories, right? Singing, dancing, that's very common for kids, right? Playing dress up. Don't have to get fully into cosplay, but go put on something you don't normally wear, right? Make dinner in it. Do whatever you need to. Be silly. Stop taking ourselves so seriously. The world is full of it, and the more that we participate in that space, the more we reinforce the message that we're trying to get away from it. Be ridiculous. Right? Go make a mess on purpose, and then laugh at yourself as you're cleaning it up. Allow yourself to have this creative expression. Right? Channel that inner child who used to do whatever it was. Right? If we were going on a bike ride as a kid, was it just, I'm going down to the store, or did we have our little land of make-believe as we're overcoming challenges and obstacles and running away from ogres and chasing down dragons and whatever it was in our mind of make-believe? Embrace that child again. That was your ticket to learning how to be free. It was your ticket to learn liberation from a world that says you're free as long as you participate in the way that we want to. We want you to. So let's be creative. Let's go make something that's beautiful. Let's go make something that makes no sense whatsoever, or something that you plan on selling later on. But don't take it serious. Be lighthearted about it. Laugh, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the mess that you make. Right? Allow yourself to do something that's so unlike your serious self that your inner child would smile and go, yep, I'm still in there. So today's gift of the light language is to encourage creativity. Encourage embracing what's always been there, but was ignored. That inner child, as we've labeled it, is actually the experience and expression of the soul before it learned the limitations of the world that we're told we're supposed to be living within. So let's go forget those limitations for a moment. Let's go create something and be beautiful and be silly and be whatever we need to be. So the light language is to encourage your creativity. Encourage you to get the heck out of your own way so that you can be grounded in a totally different experience, if only for a short moment. When I started drawing 10 years ago, my wife at the time said that she could feel the house change because I was starting to relax. It was therapy for me. I was going through a lot. I turned it into my own therapy, and then I turned it into creations on things that are online, sharing them with you, putting them on my Instagram pages, right, and just learning more about who I am on the inside. Okay, I've rambled enough. Here's light language for you to encourage you to just be childlike, to enjoy the creative space, to embrace creativity, and in doing so, be a happy, creative human who's learning how to be a human again.
Siri sira kata mako tera kata sini kata maka tera kata mara kata sini tini mahata samara kata sana kata mako to titi piti ke sita mako te kata mo kata sini kata romoko to moroko to sini amara kata mere kata ni moroko ta sera tikai moroko seri ti romoko to ire ta moara ta tamati sini ne moro to rati ki ya ponte te ni hati ti sini kata mako to sina kata Shirashira mokoto moroko tsiri te kamara katishi na kamara kotishi na moko. Titishi moko tishi na katimo haiti chikamokuto kaiti kacheka moko te sata. Kamara katishi ni marokoto moko rokota tereta moko sete shirakata moko te ramarokoto. Shishine na ramarokoto riara katine te kamoko te samarakatera katamakoto setikita katsaka mokate. Kamarakate shinemako, kamarakate kishakatai, kamarakata, gramatakumoko, kamarakata, gramanakate sinakamotoko serite. Sire shimarakoto morokota yachikamakate, namakata, makate ketamako, whoopsie shitike makate tekata. Tiketi morokota, karakatamorokotako, samokote shinakatamoko. Morokoto shine, timorokota, katamakata, pataka, kishinetamokotochi. Moro shini te kamara marashigano oshiga mokate shikata mokatai. Kamokoto kushina kata mokoshi te kitamakashi te mokoshi ni rakata mokai te keshinaka. Como ai te keshinene ne moro kishina katataka. Ai marokoto shirite never tigro mokoto kasha tamati kata. Happy creative humaning, my friends. Go illuminate brilliantly. And make it a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Until next time. 谢谢な方もご対しにてけ。